and glad that you are here for day 2. I want you to know that if you are just joining me, you are welcome to participate with me live and in person on StreamYard. For those of you that missed yesterday's session, go back and watch it. It's located on my YouTube channel, Tanya E. Hood, and you can click under the live session to get the opportunity to see it. And if you want to join this conversation, if you listened to it yesterday, you know this is just a quick snippet of what's going to take place in the discussion. We're having the bulk of our conversation take place in our Facebook group, Living in Authenticity. So if you are there, then you get the chance to see the whole session. If you are not, go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click under the registration tab and get the chance to see me because this is quick. I will end at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because this is supposed to be something that can easily acquiesce into your world. It's short and quick, but oh, it is so impactful. And today, our conversation is about intention because too many of us don't pay attention to the fact that who we are at the core of our being is how we often need to show up. If you aren't clear about who you are, then you aren't intentional about how you truly function. Your identity often aligns with your identity. A lot of people think that it's the external pieces that make up who you are. I want to sort of encourage you to believe that the elements of your being, the parts of you, the really good pieces of you, that's not often seen unless you are intentional about how it will be revealed. Some people are under the impression that what you wear, how you wear your hair, the clothes that you put on, all those various things, that makes up your identity. That can be a reflection of your identity, but it's not often who you are. Who you are is often unseen. The parts of you that people don't truly know, some pieces of you that you never really show. So what does that look like in your life? Do you really know who you are so that you can truly show up in your most authentic self? I want you to pause and consider, because your external outlook often reflects your internal being. We're often having a lot of conversation about what people are wearing, what's good to have, because there's a lot of talk about letting who you are internally be reflected externally. And it's good, but you need to still be intentional with that. A lot of people say they want to show up in their authenticity. Well, what does that truly look like for you? I know for me, it was just actually showing that it's okay for me to be flawed and still brilliant. You can be flawed and brilliant. We don't often think that that's a thing, but it is. Consider the phone that you're using, because a lot of you are probably watching me on your phone. What version is your phone currently on? If you're watching on a computer, that's not the very first computer that you've ever had. And the life expectancy on that is going to end soon. So that it's something that is in a process of growing. It's not at its full compassion. It is not fully complete. Because if it was truly complete, you wouldn't need to buy a new version. You wouldn't need to add another download. You wouldn't need to do more upgrades. What makes you think that if you have to upgrade your phone or your computer or the devices that you use, that there's a part of you that is not being upgraded as well? So show up. Show up in your flawed nature. That is a part of the piece that people often need to see. You see, I had to finally take a moment to embrace that I'm a dyslexic electrical engineer. Sounds like a little bit of an oxymoron to be a dyslexic nerd, but hey, it's a real thing. And I didn't always make it known because at a time when I was diagnosed with my dyslexia, saying that you were dyslexic was not the thing to say. But it was a part of my identity. It was a part of who I am. And I was consistently intentional about how I would show up in the world. I did not want people to think that there was something wrong with me because I couldn't read the words on the page the way that they did. I didn't want the people around me to think that I was really flawed and broken because at the time that I was diagnosed, if you couldn't read at the level that they said you could, or really have the conversations when you're looking at the pages the way others did, you were deemed special education. Now, special education back in the 80s meant you were thrown in the back room, never to be heard from again. That wasn't something that I wanted. And a lot of us hide who we are because we don't want to be tossed. So you are often intentional about the words that you say, about the way that you show up, the stuff that you are doing, and that is a good thing. But I want to encourage you to be intentional about how your inner values truly get reflected. And we're going to go deeper into this discussion about our inner values, how we're truly showing up, and how we're truly reflected. So if you are not yet joining me on StreamYard, go to tanyaehood.com. Click under the registration tab. Do it quick because this shuts down at 7. And I want to encourage you today. Be who you are in your most authentic self. If it's supportive, loving, and caring, show it. Even when someone makes you think that it is a weakness. If it's being process oriented because you know how to structure and organize, do it. Even if somebody thinks that you're a little quirky, because there are moments my nerdy self did not be, really wasn't received well. And if you know that you are the leader in a room and you have the answer, take charge, get it done. And I will see you in the Facebook group. So join me in the Living in Authenticity group, and we will continue the rest of this conversation about day 2, intention. I'll see you there. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.